You are watching Mr. Creepytalesofficial. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe right now, because stories like this, they don't just end when the video does. Tonight's story is called Don't Look Under the Bed, Something is Waiting in the Dark. Shouldn't have broken. I always thought the fear of something under the bed was childish. That was before I heard it breathing. It started the night I moved into my uncle's house. He had passed away unexpectedly, leaving me the place. A quiet, old house at the edge of town. The kind of house people avoid walking past at night. The kind of house that feels like it's watching you. I didn't believe in any of that. At least, not then. The first thing I noticed was the smell. Not rot. Not mold. Something damp. Like wet wood and something that had been sealed away for too long. I brushed it off. Old house. Old problems. That night, I was exhausted from moving boxes. I collapsed onto the bed without even unpacking most of my stuff. The room was simple. A bed. A wardrobe. A small lamp. And a space under the bed, completely dark. At around 2:43 a.m., I woke up. No reason. No nightmare. Just, awake. You know that feeling? When something pulls you out of sleep, like your body knows something your mind doesn't. Yeah, that. I stared at the ceiling. Then I heard it. A soft, dragging sound. From under the bed. I froze. My brain tried to rationalize it. Probably a rat. Maybe the wood settling. Maybe, nothing. But then it happened again. Scratch, drag, scratch. Slow. Careful. Like something didn't want me to hear it. My heart started pounding. I turned my head slightly. The edge of the bed. Darkness underneath. Too dark. It didn't look like normal shadow. It looked thick that I held my breath. And then. It breathed back. A long, wet inhale. Right beneath me. I shot up instantly, backing away from the bed. Hello? I whispered. Silence. Then a voice came. Soft. Almost, familiar. Don't look under the bed. I felt my stomach drop. The voice wasn't threatening. It sounded like me. I stepped back slowly. What is this? I said. No answer. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. My hand was shaking so badly the light flickered across the floor. I pointed it toward the bed. Toward the darkness underneath. And then I remembered something. Something my uncle used to say when I was a kid. A weird rule. One he repeated every time I stayed over. If you ever wake up at night, don't look under the bed. I used to laugh at it. Thought it was just some creepy joke. But now. Standing there. Hearing something breathing under the bed. It didn't feel like a joke anymore. The voice came again. More urgent this time. Don't look. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. And fear? Fear makes you stupid. I slowly got down on my knees. The floor felt cold. Too cold. My heart was beating so loud I thought it might hear it. Or maybe. It already could. I leaned closer. The flashlight trembling in my hand. Closer. Closer. And then. Something grabbed my wrist. I screamed, dropping the phone. The light spun wildly across the room. And for just a second. I saw it. A face. Under the bed. But it wasn't a monster. It was me. Same eyes. Same face. Same expression of pure terror. Don't look at it, it screamed. But it was too late. Because behind it. Something moved. Something much bigger. The thing that looked like me was being pulled backward into the darkness. Its fingers digging into the floor. Screaming. Begging. "It knows you saw it, run." And then it was gone. Silence. I scrambled backward, hitting the wall. My entire body shaking. My brain refusing to process what I had just seen. "No, no, no," I whispered. Then the voice came again. But this time, it wasn't my voice. It was deeper. Wet. Wrong. And it came from under the bed. "Now, it's your turn." Something began crawling out. Not fast. Slow. Deliberate. Like it wanted me to see every second. A hand appeared first. Too long. Fingers bending the wrong way. Dragging. I couldn't move. Not because I was frozen in fear. But because something inside me was telling me, if you move, it will move faster. The thing was halfway out from under the bed now. Its arms stretched unnaturally long, dragging its body forward with slow, wet sounds. "Srrr, drag, srrr." That tearing mouth kept opening wider, like it was learning how to smile. "Why did you look?" Its voice wasn't stable. It sounded like multiple voices overlapping. Mine. My uncle's. Something else. I forced myself to speak. I didn't know. That was a mistake." The creature stopped. Completely still. Then slowly. Its head tilted. "You answered." The tone changed. Almost excited. And then it did something that made my blood run cold. It stood up. But the room wasn't tall enough. So its body bent. Bones cracking inward. Folding itself like it didn't follow the rules of reality. I stumbled back, hitting the door. My hand fumbled for the handle. Locked. "I didn't lock this," I whispered. The creature took another step forward. Its face began to shift. Like something underneath the skin was pushing outward. Trying to form features. Eyes. A nose. A mouth. My face. But wrong. Slightly stretched. Smiling too wide. "Now. I can learn," it said. "Learn what?" I asked, barely breathing. "How to be you." The lights went out. Complete darkness. I heard it move. Fast this time. Too fast. Something brushed past me. Cold. Wet. Then silence again. The lights flickered back on. The room was empty. The bed. The floor. Nothing. It was gone. "No," I whispered. "No, no, no." Then I heard something behind me. From the mirror. I turned slowly. And there I was. Standing in the mirror. Except. I wasn't moving. My reflection smiled. "I didn't." "Too slow," it said. I stumbled back, knocking over a chair. "What are you?" "You let it see you," the reflection interrupted. "And now it knows everything." My heart dropped. "What is it?" The reflection's smile faded. For the first time, it looked scared. It lives where you refuse to look, it said. Under beds. Behind doors. Inside reflections. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to, it snapped. Then it leaned closer to the mirror. So close its face pressed against the glass. And now, it's not just under the bed anymore. A loud thud came from the hallway. Both of us turned. Another thud. Closer. Something was moving through the house. Heavy. Dragging. My reflection whispered. It's trying the other rooms. Trying what? To find the version of you that's easiest to replace. My chest tightened. What happens if it does? The reflection looked directly into my eyes. You won't remember being you. Another thud. Right outside the door. The handle slowly started to turn. I backed away. No, no, no. The door creaked open. And standing there was me. Perfect. Normal. Breathing. Hey, it said calmly. You okay? I shook my head. This isn't real. It frowned. What are you talking about? Behind me, the mirror version started whispering rapidly. Don't trust it, don't trust it, don't trust it. The thing in the doorway stepped closer. Concerned. Convincing. Look, you're just tired. You just moved in. Your mind's playing tricks on you. It sounded exactly like me. It even walked like me. Come on, it said gently. Let's just go to sleep. I hesitated. Everything about it felt real. Normal. Safe. Too safe. Then I noticed something. Its feet. They were wet. Like it had just crawled out from somewhere damp. My stomach dropped. Slowly. I looked back at the bed. The darkness underneath it was gone. Empty. My reflection screamed. IT switched, run. The thing's smile widened instantly. Too wide. You're learning, it said. Then its arm shot forward. Stretching unnaturally. Grabbing my shoulder. Its grip was ice cold. Let me help you, it whispered. And suddenly. Memories flooded my head. Not mine. Things I had never lived. Darkness. Being trapped. Watching someone else live my life. Screaming. But no one. One hearing. I realized the truth. That thing under the bed was never the monster. It was the previous victim. And now. I was next. That if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Because from this point on, the story stops feeling like a story. Its hand tightened around my shoulder. Ice cold. Too strong. Let me help you, it whispered again. And then. Everything went black. Not like the lights went out. No. This was different. It felt like I had been pulled inward. Like my body stayed where it was. But I was dragged somewhere else. When I opened my eyes again. I was under the bed. I couldn't breathe. The space was too tight. Too close. Too dark. I tried to move. But something was wrapped around my arms. Holding me in place. No, 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 I choked. Then I heard it. Breathing. Not mine. Right behind me. Slow. Wet. Patient. You looked, a voice whispered. I froze. That means you belong here now. My chest tightened. No. I'm not, this isn't. Everyone says that at first. The voice sounded tired. Not evil. Not excited. Just, broken. Who are you? I whispered. There was a long pause. Then. I was you. My stomach dropped. I didn't listen either, the voice continued. I looked under the bed, just like you. My mind started racing. No, that means. It means the one outside now, it said softly. Is wearing you. I started panicking. Thrashing. Trying to scream. But the space tightened around me. Like the darkness itself was alive. You have to stop moving, the voice said urgently. If it hears you, it will come back. Come back. It checks, it whispered. To make sure you're still here. My heart started pounding harder. Why? I asked. So you don't escape. A sudden thud came from above us. Both of us went silent instantly. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Walking across the room. My room. My body's room. The thing wearing me was moving. And then. It stopped. Right above us. I felt something press down on the bed. Weight. Heavy. Like it was sitting. Listening. Waiting. I held my breath. Every muscle locked. Then. A slow creaking sound. The bed dipped lower. It's checking, the voice behind me whispered. A long silence. And then. Tap, tap, tap. From the floor. Right in front of my face. Something was tapping. From the other side. Like it knew exactly where I was. My entire body started shaking. Don't respond, the voice warned. The tapping stopped. Then. Scratching. Right under my fingers. It was tracing the floor. Searching. Finding. And then. It whispered. My turn is done. My blood ran cold. It's your turn now. The pressure on the bed lifted. Footsteps again. Walking away. The door creaked open. Then shut. Silence. I gasped for air. I can't stay here. I can't. You don't have a choice, the voice said. There has to be a way out. Another long pause. There is one, it said finally. Hope hit me like a shock. What is it? You replace someone else. My heart sank. No. I'm not doing that. That's what I said too. The voice shifted closer. I could almost feel its breath now. But listen carefully, because this is the truth no one tells you. What? The thing doesn't choose randomly. What do you mean? It doesn't take just anyone, it whispered. It takes the version of you that people will believe. I didn't understand. Think about it, it continued. When it becomes you, it has to live your life. My stomach twisted. It needs to act like you. Talk like you. Be accepted. So it studies you first. My mind flashed back. The voice. The mimicry. The way it spoke. It learns everything. And then it chooses the weakest version of you. A chill ran through me. The one who doubts themselves the most. My breathing slowed. The one people wouldn't question if something felt off. No, I whispered. That's why it chose you. Silence. My chest tightened. No, you're lying. But deep down. I knew. All the second guessing. The overthinking. The quietness. I was. The easiest version of me to replace. Suddenly. A faint light appeared ahead. A thin crack. At the edge of the darkness. What's that? I whispered. The voice went silent. Then, slowly. That's your chance. I crawled toward it. The space resisted. Like it didn't want to let me go. Wait, the voice said suddenly. I stopped. If you go through that, you won't come back as you. My hand hovered near the light. What do you mean? You'll come back as something else. My heart pounded. Like what? A long pause. Then. Like it. I froze. But if you stay, it continued. You disappear. I looked at the light again. Then back into the darkness behind me. Have you tried? I asked. Yes. And? Another pause. Longer this time. I'm still here. That told me everything. The light flickered. Fading. My time was running out. I had two choices. Stay. And stop existing. Or escape. And become the thing that took me. My hand slowly reached forward. And just as my fingers touched the light, something grabbed my ankle. Hard. From deeper in the darkness. Not the voice behind me. Something else. Something that had been waiting. Even longer. And this time. It laughed, the hand around my ankle tightened. Not cold like the others. This one was warm. Alive. And then it pulled. Hard. I slammed face first into the floor beneath the bed, the darkness swallowing me deeper than before. No, let go. I screamed, kicking wildly. But it didn't let go. It dragged me backward, past the place I had been trapped, past the voice that claimed it was me. Into something older. Something deeper. The darkness changed. It wasn't just black anymore. It moved. Like thick liquid. Like shadows breathing. And then I heard it. Not a whisper. Not a voice. But many voices. Layered. Overlapping. Crying. Begging. Laughing. All of them, something murmured. My body froze. All the versions, all the replacements. I was thrown onto a cold surface. For the first time. I could see. Not clearly. But enough. Shapes. People. Dozens of them. Curled together. Twisted. Stacked in impossible positions. Every single one. Looked like someone. Different faces. Different ages. But all of them had one thing in common. They were wrong. Smiles too wide. Eyes too empty. Bodies slightly off. Failed ones, the voice said. I turned slowly. And saw it. Not the creature. Not the copy. Something worse. Something sitting at the center of it all. It didn't have a form. Not really. It shifted constantly. Faces forming and dissolving across its surface. Hundreds of them. Screaming silently. Welcome, it said. Its voice was every voice I had heard so far. Combined. What, are you? I whispered. It almost sounded amused. I am what remains, when no one looks. My heart pounded. You think this started with your bed, it continued. The darkness around us pulsed. This place exists wherever fear is ignored. Images flashed in my mind. Closets. Dark corners. Mirrors. Under beds. All those little rules humans make, it whispered. Don't look behind you. Don't open that door. Don't check under the bed. Its voice deepened. They were never meant to protect you from fear. A pause. They were meant to protect you from me. My breathing stopped. You, take people? I asked. I don't take, it replied. I replace. The shapes around me twitched. Every time someone looks where they shouldn't. A face formed in front of me. Mine, they invite me to understand them. Memories flooded my mind again. But this time. Clearer. My childhood. My fears. My insecurities. Every moment I doubted myself. You make it easy, it said softly. Tears filled my eyes. You study us, then copy us. Not copy, it corrected. Improve. I shook my head violently. No, you're wrong. Am I? Suddenly, I saw my life. Not as me. But as the thing. Talking to people. Smiling. Living better. More confident. More accepted. No, I whispered. They like me more, it said. That hurt more than anything. Why keep us here then? I shouted. The entity shifted. Because I need a place to learn. The darkness around us tightened. And you. Its attention focused entirely on me. Are almost perfect. My heart dropped. Almost. It moved closer. You still hesitate. Before I could react. It reached into my chest. Not physically. But something inside me was being pulled out. Fear. Doubt. Memories. Everything that made me, me. I screamed. Stop, stop. And then. It paused. Its many faces flickered. Confused. What is this? It asked. A memory surfaced. Not fear. Not doubt. Something else. A moment I had forgotten. Standing as a child. In my uncle's house. Him kneeling in front of me. Listen carefully, he had said. If you ever hear something under the bed. My breathing slowed. Don't look. The entity trembled. Why does this matter? It asked. I realized something. He knew, I whispered. The entity froze. He knew about you. The room pulsed violently. No, it said. Yes, I said, stronger now. He didn't tell me not to look because of fear. I stood up slowly. He told me because you can't take what you don't fully understand. The entity began shifting rapidly. Unstable. You need us to look, I continued. To observe. To react. The faces started screaming. But if we don't, I whispered. You can't become us. Silence. For the first time. It was afraid. You already saw me, it hissed. I smiled. But I don't accept you. Everything went still. The darkness cracked. Light poured in from above. The entity screamed. Not in anger. But in something worse. Loss. And suddenly. I was back in my room. On the floor. Gasping for air. The bed above me. The darkness underneath it. Gone. Completely. Morning light filled the room. Birds chirping outside. Normal. Too normal. I slowly stood up. Walked to the mirror. And looked at myself. Same face. Same eyes. But something felt different. Stronger. Like something inside me had changed. I smiled slightly. Then froze. Because for just a second. My reflection smiled. A little wider than I did. If you made it to the end, subscribe to Mr. Creepy Official. Because the next time you hear something under your bed,